Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. Try to get this screen fixed. Give me one moment. Let me drop this demo. Drop. All right, so today's video. I haven't been I haven't been on live in a while. How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for tuning in. If you are watching it after it's live, also thank you for tuning in. Haven't been live in a while, and I've been asked why. And honestly, it's been because outside of making sure this work is proper, I'll be releasing the second book next month, 12/12. It does go on early release on 12/6. Um, so I've been working, but I haven't had anything nice to say. I haven't had anything nice to say. And it's best for me, and it was best for me to get out of my emotions and use logic in order to explain why. Emotionally, it would have caused the warrior spirit to act up. It would have caused me to want war with people that aren't fit for it. So it's best that I breathe, right? It was best that I stay away, that I breathe for a moment, because upsetting me, uh, or those who unknowingly upset me, I can't let my emotions affect their karma. How I take things can't affect their life or their daily life. So I let them be. And in letting them be, I sat back and watched how people would act with this information. I've seen those who read the book and said, this is some very interesting information that I can take with me. Then it was those who got the book and said, I can use this to liberate my family. And then it was those who said, I can use this to confuse others. I can use this to grasp other people. I can use this to get the attention of other people. And then I can become the man or the woman within my own right. What I'm attempting to explain to people is tribally, you have to do things right. You as an individual can mess up everything for your family. This is why you have to understand what type of energy you have, right? What 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 like when you play with this information, you have to understand. I got messages, so it threw me off. You have to understand that there are others with this information too. So if you have this and you take it to your family and it's not your family's information, but you say, you know what, this is ours and we're going to rock with this and we're going to go join that tribal people. What you have done is created a religion in order to give your family so that they could believe that this tribal people or this story is theirs. In turn, you start to confuse your family. You start to create lies about your family. You start to create lies about your genealogy, all in the name of trying to fit in. Had this come from a place of ill intent, I would have put each individual on the chopping block. But mercy, mercy speaks. Mercy says, I understand why you are doing that because I understand you. But what you're doing is wrong. Your family said you are this. But you will read my book and say, well, I must be what he is because no one is explaining it as he is. This is spooky. This is spookism. This is religion at its finest. So I had nothing nice to say. When I sit back and I see people say, well, I'm coming for ceremony. And it's like, but you're not a tribal member. How are you coming for ceremony? But because they read a book, they feel like if they come amongst your family, that means that they have the ceremonies or will have the same ceremonial activities as you and yours. That's wrong. One doesn't even know what these ceremonies mean. They don't know what they're for. They don't know the different dances or the meaning of the different dances. One knows nothing about clanship. So I had nothing nice to say. When I attempt to help someone with their genealogy, and they don't care about their ancestors. They don't want their ancestors. They want the ancestors of someone else because those people's story is elaborate. They have complexes, right? Complex structures, social organization, all of these different things that deals with different tribal people. Those who have them not want them. So what do? They begin to clamor for them. They begin to consider themselves to be one and the same when that's not the fact of the matter. One can do this, right? Let's talk about the ancient world. Before there were FedRecs and state recognized indigenous people, these families and tribal people came together in order to create their own unions because that was their birthright. You as a human, you make friends with who you make friends with. Now, if your family did this in a large scale and your family made friends, what this would be considered is tribe. Hold on, give me one moment. Let me share this. Um, and then let me respond to this message real quick. Hold on. So I had nothing nice to say because there are those that admire me and not my work. If you admire my work, you're a student of my work, you should study, read, and educate yourself by way of my work. But when you get into my work, my physical work, and you try to mimic the things that I do, when you try to do the things that I do without knowledge, what you're doing is lying to the people. It's no longer cloaking the information. What you're doing becomes lying. Because I'll say, well, my people weren't originally called Wale. And let me note this so I can see on what time I say this so I can explain it to those who thought they knew what I was explaining again. So my people weren't originally called Wale. Wale is a Spanish term. The term we use or would have used would not have been Wale. However, I use Wale in the historical sense or in Spanish because it's the only way that you can actually study a certain part of history with that particular word. Had I used the Castilian or the original Latin rendition of the word, you wouldn't know what I was explaining. So, to dumb down the information, we use Wale as opposed to Wheelie, weekly, and all these other words, Igua'a, Iguaja, Yupa'a, Yufala, Apalachi, all of these different words are the same people, but we use the Spanish in order to teach you shit that you wouldn't have found if we gave you the tones I just gave you. But you don't know that. You listen to my words, half-ass listen to my words, and then you say, well, I'm doing what you're doing because you said your people weren't Wale. You just use it as a teaching point. You didn't hear shit I said before that. Or excuse me, or after that point, which was because that's Spanish. You only read English and Spanish, so it's the only way I could give it to you so you can comprehend. This is what I mean by studying my work to study my work. But studying my work to try to find flaws, studying my work to try to argue with me, studying my work to even try to make it yours. These are reasons that I fell back from the live because my voice, my energy would have given evil, right? Anyone knows Big Cat family is originally a red family. My family is originally a war family. But when you have seasoned warriors that's taken from vengeance and given to mercy, there's a certain etiquette, there's a certain way that we even have to respond. And as opposed to attacking, Opposed to being upset in the public, it was just best to relax. This isn't to discourage anyone from using this information to liberate their family, but it is to discourage you from taking this information, lying and saying that it's you, and then attempting to liberate other people who it actually may be. Think about this. Imagine someone who is non-Christian pretending to be a believer in Christ, saying that he's trying to liberate other believers in Christ, but you don't truly believe in Christ. So what you're doing is lying in order to get these people to do something that they already are doing, and or to get them to be something that's already in their blood. That's different from saying, I'm going to teach these people about the Cherokee history. But Cherokee was a cloak name for the family because the name that we actually were called, had they used that at that time, they would have been slaughtered. So a Negro would take that story and then twist my words and say, well, I'm doing what you're doing because you said it was a cloak. No, you're taking my information, lying to people, and trying to make yourself the face of the information. This is literally what's going on. So instead of telling someone in the evil sense what I would do to them, I had to sit down and say, I will do nothing but sit down and control my emotions. This can't upset me. People do this every day. People call America Egypt. Am I going to argue with each one of them? Nope. People claim to be Wale. And if you ask them, what's the indigenous tone and what does it mean? They don't know. Even when I give dumbed down definitions of words, I expect people to research that, find out what it really means. So they'll say, well, for instance, Shawnee means South or the Southerners. That's my base word. When one goes in depth, they explain that what? That which is South is something else, which creates the word in full. So there are bills that are out here, but people will take my information, haul ass, and try to teach people from my book while calling and texting me, asking me questions about my book. Be the student or be the student teacher. But student is front of teacher, is in front of teacher. And the thing is, those who don't want to deal with their own, those who are hiding their own, those that are keeping their bloodline secret, not sacred, but secret, you have two, it's one of two things. Either you know it and you're keeping it secretly sacred or sacredly secret, or two, you don't know at all. And for those of you who don't know at all, continuously taking other people's work, continuously listening to other people tell you who you are, is going to lead your family down the rabbit hole. And it may be okay for some of you because we've already peeped that you all are rabbits. You all are rabbits. So you may be a rabbit. You may have to lead your family down that rabbit hole. But what happens when somebody covers that rabbit hole with dirt and it's a wolf standing on the other side of that end? You would be the one who had led your family down there because you know shit. You don't know shit. But instead, you want to pretend as if you know, so you can be the face. Children, relax. Children, understand that this fight isn't for you, it's for your elders. And you say, well, I'm going to fight for my elders. Learn their fucking story then. Learn who they are for real. Then you defend them. Don't defend your elders by way of my family name. Don't defend your elders by way of someone else's tribal name. If you want to link with these tribal people, let it be known. I'm not you. My family was this, but I love what y'all doing. And according to life, if I unify with y'all, I can unify with y'all. I would like to do that. Me and my family and I. But this is not the energy we get. We get the, hey, yeah, we Wale. How are you, Wale? Oh, well, Wale is Gullah, ain't it? Wale and Gullah. Silly shit. So I had to relax. I had nothing nice to say. This is nice compared to what actually should have been or could have been said. This is nice according to what could have been said. I'm sick of people not teaching their families properly. I'm sick of people knowingly misleading their families. I'm sick of people hopping on the internet, taking in the information and just posting it willy-nilly. Like, oh, I just learned this. Look, it's not yours. It's not fucking yours. It's not your information to teach. But you have Negroes in New York, New Jersey, teaching about the Southeast, and you ask them, are your people from down here? The answer is no. And if they do say they're people from down here, and they're talking about the Carolinas, why the fuck do you keep teaching about New York and New Jersey? Why do you keep teaching about the invaders when your people are from the South? Oh, maybe your people were the invaders and then went back north. See your story. What about those of y'all out west? You don't think that y'all come from the invaders? Totally first met them. But now that they hear the story, now that they hear the Yamasi story, now that they hear the Shatta story, is, hey, man, I got blood. But family said they don't do that. Well, I don't really got to pay. Take English and they to get your need to attempting to say my own. I do it. Ain't no nigga on the planet, and this is red fire. Ain't no nigga on the